On cam nggak semuanya?
On cam aja kali ya.
On cam nih, kalau on cam, gue juga on cam.
On cam nggak? On cam dah. Yuk.
On cam, woi.
Yuk. Lumayan nambah nilai.
Ya.
Dah.
Muka gue kelihatan nggak?
Kelihatan.
Dan.
Kelihatan banget Dan. Nyebab.
Dah, bismillah.
Udah ya. Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, all praise be to Allah, the Lord of the world. Okay, in this opportunity, we will presentation about finding pronoun, reference, and specific information. Okay, for the speaker first, Zidan Ulumddin and Sabilah Masruroh and Zulshafitra and Sayep Fadil Akbar. Okay. Zidan.
Ya, thank you moderator. Finding pronoun reference. Activity 1. Participating in class discussion. Discuss with your classmate the following sentence. Number 1. Rini told Indah that therapy was wonderful. Number 2. Document arranged by the temporary works were badly out of order, so we send them back to the main office. Number 3. The student lobbied for more vending machine in classroom building far from the student meeting house, which won the prize. Number 4. Take the lining out of the seats and hum it. Number 5. It is a matter of the greatest impossible importance to the health of anyone with a history of a problem with disease of the heart. He or she should avoid the sort of foods with a high percentage of saturated fats. The example above show the importance of using proper pronouns to make the sentence clearer and simpler and to avoid ambiguity than with pronouns. Next. Activity 2. Grammar focus. Discuss the following material with your rector. Pronoun chart. Subject pronoun. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Object pronoun. Me, you, him, her, it, use, you, them. Possessive adjective. My, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. Possessive pronoun. Mine, yours, his, hers, ours, yours, theirs. Reflexive pronouns. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. Next, please. Pronoun reference is the practice of making pronoun refers clearly to the words they replace. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. Thus, the pronoun must agree with the noun it replaces in number and person. Also, it must be clear which noun the pronoun is substituting for. The noun that the pronoun is the subject for is called the untended. What are the basic rules for pronoun reference? Number 1, a pronoun must agree in number with the noun it's reference to. If the noun is singular, then the pronoun must be singular. Incorrect. Everyone is studying hard for their exams. Correct. Everyone is studying hard for his or her exams. Correct. All of the students are studying hard for their exams. Number 2, a pronoun must agree in person with the noun it refers to be consistent with first person, second person, and third person. Number 3, the salt be only on possible extensions for a single pronoun. Only the noun that the pronoun refers to salt come before the pronoun. Incorrect. Nguyen and Muhammad walked to his English class. Correct. Nguyen and Muhammad walked to Nguyen English class. Correct. Nguyen walked to English class and Muhammad accompanied him. Next, please. Number 4, there must be an exemplate uncatens. Don't make the reader guess what the antigen is. Incorrect. In the study, they state that writing skill are important. Correct. In the study, the research state that writing skill are important. Number 5, a pronoun should not refer to a possible noun when a noun possessive. It functions as an adjective and so can replace with a pronoun. Incorrect. In the professor comments, she was very encouraging. Correct. The professor comment were very encouraging. Correct. The professor was very encouraging in her comments. Number 6, it must be used constantly. If you use it to refer to one noun in a sentence, don't use it again to refer to another noun in the same sentence or as an idiom. Incorrect. When it is busy, I hope to get a lot of sleep as it will help me work hard. Correct. When it is busy, I hope to get a lot of sleep, which will help me work hard. Next, please. Next, please. Activity 3, pair the question. Discuss the following question with your pair. Number 1, Buddy's hair is so messy that his young man is supposed to visit a barber before this upcoming semester. A. This sentence does contain a pronoun reference error. Number 2, Dodie fell asleep on the living room software. Snoring describes use from the film. A. His. Number 3, during the games, neither the athlete nor the coach can get beauty sleep because the bases bounce along on bed shop. Be there. Next. Activity 4. Determining pronoun reference in text. You will sometimes be asked to determine which noun a pronoun refers to. In his type of question, it is important to understand that a noun is generally used first in a passage, and the pronoun that refers to it comes after. Whenever you are asked which noun a pronoun refers to, you should look before the pronoun to find the noun. The following chart outlines the key information that you shall remember about pronoun detail question. It is important to remember that you don't need a full understanding of the complete passage in order to solve this question type. You just need to study the context surrounding the word. Usually, you just read the sentence where the highlight word is mentioned, and then read a few sentences that come before it. The following mention the most frequently applied pronoun reference and its typical question. Number one, subject pronoun, it, they. Number two, object pronoun, it, them. Number three, demonstrative pronoun, this, those, this, that. Number four, possessive adjective, it's, there. Number five, other reference word, the former, the latter, one, once, another, other, others. Pronoun reference. How to identify the question. The pronoun in line X referring to each of the following. Where to find the answer? The line where the pronoun is located in generally given in the question. The noun that the pronoun refers to is generally found before the pronoun. How to answer the question? Number one, find the pronoun in the page, the line where the pronoun can be found in generally states in the question. Number two, look for noun that's come before the pronoun. Number three, read the part of the passage before the pronoun carefully. Number four, eliminate any definite wrong answer, the chose the best answer from the remaining choice. Next. Next, please. The next is Sabilah Masruroh.
Example 1, economic contact between Native Americans and Europeans can be traced back to the English and French fishermen of the coast of Canada in the 1500. They trade goods and other weapons for beaver fur. The first explorers to trade with the Native Americans were Giovanni da Verrazzano and Jacques Cartier in the 1520 and 1530. In Verrazzano's book, he notes, if we want to trade with them for some of their things, they would come to the seashore on some rock where the breakers were most violent, will we remain on the little boat. And they send us what they want to give on a rope, continually shooting to us not to approach the land. A. English and French fishermen. B. Beavers. C. Europeans. D. Traits and characteristics. It is referring to who trade goods and other weapons for beaver fur. A and B are in the passage but do not trade for beaver fur. So C is the best answer. Next. Example 2. A tornado is created when warm, moist air rises from the ground and comes into contact with a mass of colder air at the bottom of a thundercloud. The rising air pushes against the colder air, and the rotation of the earth causes the air to spin. In much the same way, the water in a sink spins as it goes down a drain. The pressure at the center of the tornado is much lower than that in the air surrounding the tornado. The low pressure creates a funnel in the middle of the tornado, which causes destruction by acting much like a vacuum cleaner and sucking up whatever is in its path. Number 1, the word it line 5 refers to AYP water ceasing the drain. In this example, you are asked to find the difference for the subject pronoun it. You shall study the context around the singular pronoun it and look for a singular noun in front of it that fits into the context. The context around the pronoun state that water in a sink spin as it goes down a drain. From this context, it can be determined that it refers to water because it is water that goes down a drain. Next. Activity 6, exercise. A tornado is created when warm air rises from the ground and comes into contact with a mass of colder air at the bottom of a thundercloud. The rising air pushes against the colder air, and the rotation of the earth causes the air to spin in much the same way that water in a sink spins as it goes on a drain. The pressure at the center of the tornado is much lower than that in the air surrounding the tornado. The low pressure creates a funnel in the middle of the tornado, which causes the destruction by acting much like a vacuum cleaner and sucking up whatever is in its path. Number 1, the word that in paragraph 2 refers to the answer E, A, pressure. Number 2, the word which in paragraph 2 refers to the answer C, tornado. These laws are universal in their application, regardless of cultural beliefs, geography, or climate. If pots have no bottoms or have large opening in their sides, they could hardly be considered containers in any traditional sense. Next. Since the law of physics, not some arbitrary decision, have determined the general form of applied art objects. They follow basic patterns so much so that functional forms can vary only within certain limits. The word there in line 2 refers to the answer C, cultural beliefs. Number 4, the word they in line 5 refers to the answer B, the law of physics. The full moon that occurs nearest the equinox of the sun has become known as the harvest moon. It is a bright moon which allows farmers to work late into the night for several nights. They can work when the moon is at its brightest to bring in the fall harvest. The harvest moon, of course, occurs at different times of the year in the northern and southern hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere, the harvest moon occurs in September at the time of the autumnal equinox. In the southern hemisphere, the harvest moon occurs in March at the time of the vernal equinox. Next. Number 5, the pronoun it in line 2 refers to the answer A, the equinox. Number 6, the pronoun they in line 3 refers to the answer A, farmers. Mardi Gras, which means Father's Day in France, was introduced to America by French colonists in the early 18th century. From that time, it has grown in popularity, particularly in New Orleans, and today it is actually a legal holiday in several southern states. The Mardi Gras celebration in New Orleans begins well before the actual southern states. The Mardi Gras celebration in New Orleans begins well before the actual Mardi Gras Day. Parties, balls, and numerous festivities take place throughout the week before Mardi Gras Day. Tourists from various countries throughout the world flock to New Orleans for the celebration, where they take part in a week of non-stop activities before returning home for some much needed rest. Next. Number 7, the pronoun it in line 2 refers to the answer A, Mardi Gras. Number 6, the pronoun they in line 6 refers to the answer B, tourist. The financial firm Dow Jones and Company computes business statistics every hour on the hour of each of the business days of the year, and these statistics are known as the Dow Jones Average. They are based on a select group of stocks and bonds that are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones Average are composed of 4 different types of average. The average of the common stock of 30 industrial firms. The average price of the common stock price of 20 transportation companies. The average price of the common stock price of 15 utility companies, and an overall average of all the 65 stock used to compute the first 3 average. Probably the average that is the most commonly used is the industrial average. It is often used by an investor interested in checking the state of the stock market before making an investment in an industrial stock. The next slide of Zulshafitra.
Okay. Number 9, the pronoun day in line 3 refers to the answer right is A, the business day. Number 10, the pronoun it line 9 refers to the answer right is A, the industrial average. Okay, reading for specific information which include academic reading different. Differs from pleasure reading. You may read a novel for fun, but the purpose of academic reading is to gain information. Therefore, you need to have some technique to find the specific information, such as scanning and skimming. Number 1, how do you base your dictionary to look up meaning of a word? Let's say the meaning of pathetic. Do you start exploring from list of words started by A, or you directly jump to that by P? Why? Number 2, how do you cope with reading a very long text to find out specific information but you only have few seconds to go? Do you read the text completely even when you know you do not have enough time? The technique scanning or looking for specific information is very useful. When you know exactly what you are looking for in a text, sign you have a very specific goal in mind. When you read, you only read the relevant parts and ignore the irrelevant. You could start by making a list of points you would like to locate in a text. The list will help you find the relevant points in the text. Now, before you do some practice, read the tips in the following section. You could use the list as an exercise for scanning. Okay, below is given a list of tips on location-specific information. Number 1, keep in mind what you want to locate in the text. Number 2, jot down a piece of paper of the keywords that are related to the topic you want to explore in text. Number 3, don't read every word. Number 4, make use of heading. Number 5, set a time limit for yourself. Number 6, don't use a dictionary unless you are very sure the word in the doubt is related to the information you are looking for. Prambanan Temple. Prambanan is the largest Hindu temple located in central Java, Indonesia. It is approximately 18 kilometers east of Yogyakarta. The temple is UNESCO World Heritage Site and is one of the largest Hindu temples in Southeast Asia. The temple is easily reachable by visitor either by feet or by provided vehicles. The path before reaching the main building is approximately 1 kilometer. The main building is so unique. There are so many temples there. The shape is all characteristic by its height and pointed architecture, typical of Hindu temple architecture, and by the 47-meter high central building inside a large complex of individual temples. The structure is so awesome. It is chained by none of modern materials, but the maintenance is so strong. The main surface of the building is full filled by ash, but it does not elevate the beauty of the temple at all. The original building is still preserved, though it has many renovations. That was ever damaged during the earthquake in Japan in 2006. It caused some destruction. Early photos suggest that although the complex appeared to be structurally intact, the damage is significant. Large pieces of debris, including carving were scattered off the ground. The temple was closed to the public for a quite long time. It is now already open for public after many renovation. Di sini ada cerita, ya langsung ke pertanyaan, the question. Number 1, where in the passage does the author give a definition? The answer right is A, paragraph 1, lines 1, 2. Number 2, where in the passage does the author mention the use of the insect light to illuminate surgery? The answer right is C, paragraph 2, lines 3 and 4. The word citizen comes from the Latin word civitas, meaning membership of a city. Today, citizenship refer mainly to membership in a nation. Citizenship is also called nationality. A full membership in a nation, but nationality has a wider meaning. It implies a right to protection by one's own country when visiting another country. Almost all people have citizenship in at least one country. Citizens have a certain rights and duties. The rights of citizens differ from nation to nation. Many nations have constitutions that provide for basic rights known as civil rights, which include freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly. In order to vote, citizens must be registered and must have reached the minimum age. Like citizen rights, the duties of citizens also differ from one nation to another. Most governments demand the citizens pay tax, defend their countries, and obey its laws. The question number 3, the answer right is A, lines 1 and 2. Number 4, the question right is C, paragraph 2, lines 1 and 2. Di sini ada cerita bisa baca sendiri karena memang sama waktunya. The next question is number 5. Where in the passage does the author describe how coral-producing animals find food? The answer right is B, number 6. Where in the passage does the author explain why and where coral reefs are formed? The answer right is B, paragraph 2, lines 1 and 2. Number 7, where in the passage does the author describe the different kinds of reef? The answer right is B, paragraph 2, lines 5 and 7. Ini juga ada cerita, skip aja. Lanjut, the next question. Number 8, in what line does the author mention the kinds of civil rights? The answer right is A, paragraph 1, lines 1 and 2. Number 9, in what lines does the author mention that in some countries people cannot apply the rights? The answer right is B, paragraph 2, lines 6 and 7. Question Number 10, where in the passage does the author mention of the effect of civil rights to chimpanzees? The answer right is B, paragraph 2, lines 6 and 8. Ini bagiannya Abai bukan sih? Apa belum?
Belum.
Belum ya? Oke. Now, the question is 11. Where in the passage does the author describe the restriction of civil rights? Then answer right is the paragraph 3, lines 4 and 6. Di sini juga ada cerita. The next question. Number 12, where in the passage does the author discuss the importance of love? The answer right is A. Udah, bye.
Coba ya lanjut, Bay.
Dari sini aja, bye. Koral.
Oke. Coral. I will continue. Coral is limestone formation formed in the sea by millions of tiny animals. Coral formation may look like large dams, small irregular cracks, or tiny organ pipes. The living coral forming animals become the color of the coral, beautiful shades of tan, orange, yellow, purple, and green. Most smaller forming animals feed at night at plankton and other small organisms. Poison cells released from their tentacle paralyze the small structure before they are captured. In addition, hair-like structure around their mouth assists in gathering nutrition. When these animals die, they leave limestone skeletons that form the foundation of berries and ridges in the sea-colored coral reefs. The reefs are mostly found in warm, shallow tropical seas because they cannot live in water colder than 18 degrees Celsius. Coral reef abound throughout the South Pacific, in the Caribbean Sea, in the East Indies, and in the Indian Ocean. They also form around Madagascar, along the Florida coast, and along the tropical coast of Brazil. Next. Oke, di sini juga ada pertanyaan. Where in the passage does the author describe how coral produce young animals